It's all cranked up and ready. It's not moving. That is ingredient. It's got everything. Well, shit. Welcome back. We've come back up to the northwest part of the map to build up Abernathy Farm for the Minutemen. Now, this is a family farm, like some of the earlier builds I've made, and I didn't want to make it into any kind of like metropolis or settlement for a bunch of families. The only people here are the family. That said, I did want to upgrade their house and then also utilize this farm to provide sustenance and comfort to the other settlements out there as part of our Minutemen web of interconnectivity. And so there's a factory. So without further ado, let's approach Abernathy Farm. So I wanted to start over here by this water tower because it's such a recognizable landmark, plus it just makes this reveal a little better. Now, of course, draw distances is going to be rezzing in as I approach, but the original structure, can't be scrapped. So in order to hide all of that, I had to build slightly out on each side and then up. So the house, as you can begin to see now, is pretty massive, 4 stories altogether. 2 elevators, one on the south side of the building, one on the north side of the building. They live on the top 2 floors, basically. Just like with Sunshine Tidings Co-op, we also have this concrete wall on each side that follows the lay of the land. And at the end of each of the 2 walls is a heavy laser turret. Now I want to show you what's on the south side of the house past the crops as well. So there's the front of the house, and let's turn around. And so I was going to make this a live fire training range, but decided that sticking with the ambience of the zombie apocalypse, I would instead turn it into a cemetery. So tombstones and a crypt and trees. Alright, so coming back up to the house, I of course have a heavy laser turret tower here, and then another one on the other side. Most enemies approaching from the south don't make it to the fence at all. I have a gate here, and I have everything fenced in. So we have our Brahmin in this little section, and still got a little cooking station that I moved off from the side. And I did replace all of the potatoes with razor grain and corn, the reason for which I will show you in a moment. We've got a couple of water generators, and then we have more crops along the side of the house over here. Alright, so coming back around to the front, there's 2 doors. This one goes back to the factory, and then coming past the deck, which I covered, is the door to the residence. So we'll go in here, and before we head up to the 2nd floor, let me show you what I did over here. So I moved the chemistry station and the workbench here, for reasons I'll show you in a moment. Now, the door to the house used to be right here, but I have covered it, blocked it off, because it is now a basement. The residence is upstairs. We still got our cat. Now there's the staircase here, and as we come up here to the 2nd floor, there's an elevator to our right, and there's also a staircase here to our left that both go up to more than the main parts of the house. We see the original structure here to our side, which you can't get through from this point. You have to get into there from above. Before we show you all that, though, here's the other elevator, and let's bring it up and take it down to the factory. Actually, just past the elevator, you can see some conduit heading up from the 1st floor. Each of these floors take their power from conduit, mostly built into the flooring itself. So it's invisible, which is nice. Now, this is the factory, and off here to the left is a hallway that goes back to the front of the house and to the doorway that we saw earlier. Right, so as you can see, we have the generator back here, and everything in the factory, all of the conveyor belts are hooked up to that switch. Everything else in the house is done via conduit. So you can see the conduit running over here and the radiator that's allowing the lights to be on. But the conveyors aren't going because I haven't flipped the switch yet. You can see the wire coming over here to the vacuum hopper, which is located near enough the workbench that it pulls directly from there. So corn and razor grain come out. Let's fire it up. Alright, so let's head back over to the vacuum hopper so we can see the razor grain. I've actually had to shoot this multiple times because if I'm being totally honest here, and if I was building this again, I wouldn't have these upward slope conveyor belts with corn because apparently corn is round and it rolls when it hits an upward slope. In fact, here's a piece of corn that fell off before. Let's pick that up. Alright, so I moved all the corn over and I just have razor grain coming across, so you should see it clearing the sorter here in a moment. There we go. And it's going to come over here into our device. And that should fire up. There we go. And pick up some razor grain that fell out. And wait for it. Ta-da! Sugar bombs. So that's what this factory is. It's a sugar bombs factory. That's why I have them growing corn and razor grain. We've got plastic already in there. The idea is that back along this back wall we have a powered door. I'm going to go ahead and open up. And then caravanners, provisioners can come back here, load up boxes to take to the other settlements. And so I'm going to turn around here and ta-da! It's a sugar bombs factory. Alright, let's head back in. We're now on the south side of the building, the south elevator, and let's head up to the top floor and look at the residence. So we'll start on the top floor, which is the living quarters, and we'll come back down to the third floor. Alright, we'll start here with the living room. So you can see it's nice and spacious in here. We've got a nice couch and table and some music that can play from there. If we come back over here, we've got one of our two balconies. So you can come out here and check out what's on the horizon. We'll head back inside. We have our master bathroom with a very futuristic shower. Everything is a-okay and nice and clean in here. Come through here, we have our north elevator, and you can see the conduit running up here. There's the living room again. And then over here is the master bedroom. So this is where the Mr. and Mrs. sleep. They're into their role-playing, apparently. They close. I chose the weird paintings just because it matches the bed, and because they did just lose a child, so I figured they're maybe dealing with that in their own way. We have our other balcony, and this balcony actually does attach to their daughter's room. So she has her own bathroom because, you know, teenagers. And then she's done some of her own decoration as well. So she's got lots of cats, cat photos, got a bobblehead, got her own music to listen to. She's into girly things. All right. I also noticed she's got a suitcase under her bed because she may or may not be thinking about heading to Diamond City. And then we have our guest room in here. It's not as decorated or anything because there's nobody really staying there right now. I also built these stairs that go up here. We have a little communications section so they can reach out to the Minutemen if they need to. And then Dad has a little workout area over here in the corner, some weights and a treadmill and some water. And plenty of room to grow. So if they want to have more kids, well, they've got the room for it now. let's head down to the third floor, which is where we're going to have the kitchen and the dining room. Alright, so originally I was going to make this a bar that sat on top of their residence, but that obviously changed as I went. So nice, fully stocked kitchen with the lights kind of recessed up into the overhead cabinets, dining room set, and then a second living room area for sitting around drinking booze and or coffee. And over here we have storage areas that we haven't really utilized fully. These used to be where they would sit to look out over the land, but that's no longer a thing. And then here we have the stairs that lead down to the basement. We have a medical droid that I gave them to treat injuries. And okay, so this is the original residence. I did put up some walls, but I left the floor as is. I replaced the refrigerator with a better one, although there's no door. Was not able to scrap the beds, so there's still these dirty mattresses laying down here. But there's where the generator is. As you can see, this is kind of like a man cave. So we've got a chair, we've got some workbenches and whatnot. And then back here we do have a laundry room as well. So that's about everything there is to show you with this residence. I think I'm going to have a seat over here, and let's talk about what's coming up next. Okay, so here are my choices. The Minutemen locations that would be coming up would be Greentop Nursery and Nordhagen Beach, or is it Nordhagen Beach? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound like the ice cream. I'm going to say Nordhagen. It's probably Nordhagen. I don't know. I haven't even gone to Nordhagen Beach yet. I have gone to Greentop Nursery, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it yet, which means Red Rocket will likely be the next video. That is where I built my original robot workbench for the Autonomatron DLC. I don't like what I did there though, so I've already torn all that down and I'm redoing it from scratch. So yeah, Red Rocket's probably going to be the next one. I'm also going to dive into the world of Let's Play videos, and I put Borderlands 2 back on my Xbox, so I think the next video might actually be a Borderlands 2 playthrough, Chapter 1. So yeah, thank you so much for checking out this Fallout 4 Zombie Apocalypse Settlement build video. I hope to see you soon. Have a good one.